Hail them.
Hailing frequencies open, sir.
Hailing frequencies. Open.
I don't know why I keep giving alien street food a chance. It's always such a gamble.
Captain, we're being hailed.
On screen.
Hello and welcome to another Hailing Frequencies Open Pod, where we are trekking through the past and future of Star Trek. As always, I am your host, Mike Jones, and I have one co-host with me today in the virtual studio. Shore leave, climbing, campfire songs. Nope, not his speed. His favorite thing to do is break through a nice, plump, great barrier to access Shakari. It's Damien.
You know, it's funny because that sounds like perfectly innocent, except that I know that Lanita wrote it, so, you know, it's not.
The word plump, I think, is what puts it over the line.
Plump, yes. Well, you know, I like it.
How are you today, Damien?
I'm excellent, and I am excited to talk about this movie, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
The one without the whales, as they say. But we can't talk about this by ourselves. We do have two wonderful guests joining us, and here she is, our zealot half-sister with a creepy smile. Don't worry, we're having the old lady on next week to clear up everything about her time with Sarek. It's a retcon, or is it just conveniently missing information? It's Lanita.
That was absolutely brilliant. I love that intro.
I'm sorry for making an illusion that maybe your mom hooked up with Sarek, but you know.
I feel like she would be okay with it. She'd totally be okay with it. And she'd be like, "Oh, I get to come on the pod." She's waiting for it. She's waiting for an invite.
I mean, we don't know. Spock has so many mystery siblings. They just pop up. They just keep popping up.
Yeah.
Could be Lanita.
I mean, it could be. Look at the ears.
And rounding out our panel today, we are lucky to have him with us. Our guest is best known for his notorious midnight grinder hookups with the Hampton Inn Grand Canyon's own unnamed five-star chef. By day, he's a history teacher, but don't ask him what subject any of his teacher friends teach. I promise you, he has no idea. By night, he's the communications director for our friends at To Proudly Go. But don't ask him who his captain is. I promise you, he has no idea. Heather, who? It's Austin P. Smith.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like people expect me to know a lot more than I actually need to on a day-to-day basis. So I have to set those expectations low, and then every now and then pleasantly surprise.
Well, that's smart. Like set the expectation low. That's that I feel like that's a note that Paramount could have gotten when they were promoting Star Trek V, because the teaser posters asking why are they putting seatbelts in theaters, the answer was not Star Trek V, unless it was to keep them in their seats. Spoilers.
They actually, oh, that's terrible. First off, what a nasty transition. That was amazing. But also,
yeah,
did
you really twisted that one, Mike.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Have you considered a career in teaching? Because basically every 5 minutes you're going to have to turn some off-topic conversation into whatever lesson you are already trying to teach.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. What grades do you teach again?
Well, and you want me to remember that too? No. I teach 10th grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. So
if I seem like overly combative right now, it's been a day. It's been a day.
Every day is a day. I understand that.
But not every day is this day.
Oh no.
But it's totally fine. Yeah. So
So you're gonna end the day on a great note, talking to us about a fabulous movie.
Yes.
Absolutely. And you know what? I know people don't like it, but I had a good time.
I also did like it and had a good time.
Oh my goodness, this is how we're starting?
No,
that nobody likes
we should
the
also
movie?
say that we should talk about how we met Austin.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we shouldn't jump right in. Go ahead. Yes. How do we meet Austin?
We have a guest. Yes, we have a movie to talk about. We have a guest here.
That is true. That is true. Who I met apparently twice, and yeah, there we are.
But I feel like I've known you my whole life.
I mean that. That's what I do. I rub off on people that way. When did we meet? Oh, really? It seems so far ago.
Yeah, he definitely used on you the brilliant "we've met before."
Oh,
It was so nice to be on the other side of that because so many times, people are like, "Oh, we've met." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, okay."
Okay.
That was like
yeah.
three iterations of me ago. Like, I haven't even met that version of me, so I don't know what you think. Anyway, how did we meet?
We met at Trek, New Jersey,
We sure did.
and we have to talk about and this was in, and actually we have spoken about this on our pod before, if you have heard it or not, but we on the Saturday night of the convention, we all went out to the improv show that was that was Tawny Newsome and Eugene Cordero at the Second City in Brooklyn, which they cordially specifically invited us to. We all got personal invites from them to go out and see their show. And Austin, you when they were looking for audience participation, your hand went up and you just
I
jumped right in, and it was really special. Can you tell us about it?
Well, okay, and not to like harp on this, but like again, from the teaching perspective, do you know how awful it is to ask a question? It'll be
Mm.
like a easy question, and you're just waiting, and it's just like nobody wants exhausting. And I can't do that to another person. I've been
Mm.
through that. Um,
So you were like anticipating their like preemptively
No one.
anticipating their like potential humiliation at not having.
I just like to participate. I like to participate. And the other thing is that like I feel like it's such a safe way to do something scary. Like it's like roller coasters and comedy shows, right? It's like you're safe. You're not actually going to be harmed, but
Mm.
it's still like kind of nerve-wracking anyways. And
Mm.
so it's like whenever somebody at a comedy show or whatever else, if they need a volunteer, I'm like, okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? I mean, they might kind of talk about your life for like 30 minutes in front of people that you want to respect you. But other than that, like, what's going to happen?
But you did such a good
That
job of
was
like
great.
giving them material, yet at the same time, like withholding so that they had to pull it out of you. Like that was what was so impressive, I thought, because like there were jokes that you were giving them that they ran with, but you kind of made them work for them.
Well, and that's also, I paid for the show. I can't do their job for them. Like, at that point, they should be paying, they should be buying a ticket to my show. So,
Fair,
yeah, no, it was a
fair.
kindness that I was doing them.
Excellent.
A kindness.
Absolutely.
Volunteering is
Absolutely.
tribute and a
Mm-hmm.
kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you quickly came up with good material for them to work with. So that was nice. Um,
And actually the joke that I feel like they mined the most, they asked you, and this is, we referenced this in your intro, that you were on a trip with other teachers, and they asked you what your friends taught, and you said, seemingly totally honest, you said, I don't know. And they fucking mind that somehow that was the joke that kept coming back in their act all night.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, like, if I spent enough time thinking about it, I know, but it was also
Sure.
just like, it was that, or I could spend the next minute and they would, like, that feeling where it's like you're taking up too much space and you can feel it.
Mhm.
Like,
Mm.
you're halfway through the story and it's like, shit, like, I have to keep going now. So it's like, I could have listed off everybody who went on the trip, what they taught, if they were still teachers, like what they got their major in, but that, I don't know.
But
I don't
nobody
know.
needs
Maybe
that.
that would have been a
Brevity is the
different
soul
show.
of wit.
Some would say that.
Someone said that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
I need
somebody
to hear
said
that
that.
more often, I think.
Which is not, we don't really respect that on this podcast.
No.
No, no,
No.
we don't.
I
Mm-mm.
can't even
Um,
spell brevity.
I could
That
abbreviate
is
it.
why that's why you're not an English teacher. It's all
Yeah, right.
good.
Yeah, I don't think history teachers embrace brevity very much.
No.
No. um, so what's going on with Too Proudly Go right now?
What is so we have bad news, right? Is that our
Mm.
home bar, since we started doing the weekly shows, We've been doing that for like over 3.5 years. I don't know the exact number. That bar, Barracuda, has closed, and it closed very suddenly. We found out like a little over. We found out less than a week before our last show that it
Oh
would be
my
our last show
gosh.
there. So
Wow.
that was a lot, and
Yeah.
someone had to communicate it, and somehow everybody expected me to do it. Um, but we had a nice little send off for our last show at Barracuda.
Yeah.
As far as the next frontier, once we break through that great barrier, um, we're looking for a new home. I don't have anything concrete yet, but we are definitely in the works. And
Great.
as soon as we know, everybody else is going to know, because
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
know how to keep our mouths shut.
Well, and the
Says
fact
the
of the
director
matter
of
is, like,
communications.
we're so slow in releasing these that we're probably gonna have to like dub over this part and have with like, so you may have to do like some like pickup recording
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
with
Exactly.
the
that,
actual news.
Yeah.
Go to Instagram.com and search for at to proudly go. That's at to proudly go to find out the latest.
Woo.
I
That's
know the guy who
perfect.
runs the Instagram, and he's really
Well
cute.
done.
And he's single. He's single.
Single and ready to mingle. Okay. I am chomping at the bit to talk about this movie.
Yes.
I don't know. Y'all seem to not like it, so I didn't think anybody was chomping at the bit to do it.
No,
My
we still
God.
want to talk about it.
It was a
Right.
good time. It was a good time.
Oh, but hold on, Austin. Here's the thing. I know that Mike Jones and Damazon have seen it previously. Have you seen it previously?
I have, but I remembered so little of it. I think I
That's
was high
okay.
or depressed.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to know where you're coming in, because I'm
Yeah.
coming in at never seen it, didn't know what the hell it was about. So, virgin eyes for this movie.
And that's
Amazing.
beautiful.
Clarifying that for the group. Okay, cool. Go ahead, Mike Jones. Run it.
So this is Star Trek V: The Final Frontier, released in June 1989, billed as a summer blockbuster. It was up against films like Batman, Lethal Weapon 2.
Ooh, that's a
It was
good one.
a big summer for movies. So it had stiff competition. Directed by William Shatner, produced by Harv Bennett. Shatner directed basically because Leonard Nimoy, had directed the last two films, and they had a favored nations clause basically in their contract that whatever one got, the other got. So the producers kind of owed Shatner, the director, a spot in the director's chair because Leonard Nimoy had been able to do it. And so they gave him that option. So yeah, this was Shatner's first time behind the camera in Star Trek. Yeah.
Was it Spock's? Was it Leonard Nimoy's first time behind the camera in the movies as well?
Yes, it was the first time he'd done a feature film and when he did Star Trek 3. And
Had he done any of the TV directing? Like it was his directorial debut, Star Trek 3.
I think it was his
I
directorial
think
debut.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's worth noting Shatner had actually directed episodes of T.J. Hooker before, at least one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
And
No,
apparently there was all sorts of bad buzz about the way he behaved during that made everybody very
Oh, okay. No, I just wonder because you said like there's a clause, and I'm thinking to myself, well, would any critique to directing, could it be attributed to the fact that it was his maiden voyage in directing
Yes.
and
Sure.
directing a franchise that has steady folks, da 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 da. But the fact that Leonard Nimoy's first foray was 3, and so that idea didn't hold any water really.
Well, and also as part of that, he had story influence. Like he was at the table in crafting the story that the writers then turned into a screenplay.
Which Leonard Nimoy did as well for the other 2 films he directed.
I'm fairly certain that the whale thing came from Nimoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say something crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Always.
Well, first of all, love the whales. Save them. Save them. One thing, and I don't even remember movie 3 because it's been a minute, but at least with movie 4, like Spock was not necessarily like it was very much a group effort movie. It was there's an official word for this.
Ensemble.
Ensemble.
Yeah.
Right.
Ensemble.
Another word that I'm not going to spell, but that I do know. So it's right, and it's like I wouldn't necessarily have looked at that story and been like, oh yeah, the guy who plays Spock made this. It's very Kirk, and like he does get his little like trio moments, right? It's very much like the boys.
A lot of trio moments, which I I noted that. Yeah.
Love the boys, love a boys night. But yeah, it felt very much like you could kind of tell a little bit. No offense if he's listening now.
You know he
kinda
is.
tell.
Like you
very
mean
close
like
to
it was indulgent in
Slightly, but interesting, not as not as indulgent as it could have been.
Sure.
Did we need to watch an opening, like the full opening of him climbing El Capitan? No. However,
No.
I said to myself, this reminds me of the documentary of the do free solo free, the man that climbed it. An award win. Great documentary. My God, riveting watching a man climb a rock, but like fascinating. So I said to myself, oh, that's like this, but I didn't need as much of it. You know, it's set up. I understood why. It set up my favorite new gadget, space rocket boots. Need a pair of those immediately. And Spock in them is the funniest shit on the planet.
Yes.
Like it is comedic gold. I said, yep, that's what he needs, boots with rockets. You know, nervous stomach McCoy on the ground. Like, what are we doing? Like, like what are we doing? But
it's so stupid, but it's also so like because first of all, Spock is the one who distracts him.
Yes.
Spock causes him to fall off a mountain and then saves him barely.
Yeah. I mean, he was gonna save
so
him.
Romantic though. Can you imagine your Vulcan boyfriend does like a dive? His rockets are thrusting, and then he saves you at the last second.
Second.
I was already. It was like what 5 minutes into the movie. I was like, okay, I might need to take a minute. Like this is. I need to cool off. It was hot.
Well, let's go back to the very beginning.
Wait, nobody's agreeing with me. I need everybody to
yes.
No.
Yes, I'm feeling really isolated.
It was hot.
It's okay.
I'm
listen,
sure.
No, listen. You stand on those hills.
Like
we're Spurk fans here, right?
Yeah, this is Daddy Spurk too. This is like So before we get to Spurk, the movie opens with Lawrence of Arabia approaching on a horse. I mean, Cybok.
Which honestly was very like the opening scene. The one thing they do right is intro. Like
it's a great intro.
The music comes in, you know who's in it. Like here are your names and like, ooh, who the hell is Cybok? I was like, this is gonna be new. We get a new named person. And it's like there's a random weird looking dude digging holes, packing holes, something. You're like, guess he's looking for something in the desert. And then here comes, a man on a horse with no name across the desert, like Dune. And then it's, here I am. You have paid. Let me take it. That was bizarre. Like to start off with desolate planet, weird looking person who could be an alien but is humanoid, desert rider, give me your pain. I'll take you where you want to go.
He got some teeth problems. What's the teeth situation?
That
gum teeth thing.
It was meth mouth. Terrible.
Maybe he's an alien, but the only thing that's different about him, you know how they have all the nose aliens?
Oh yeah.
These are teeth aliens?
This is a teeth alien. Yeah. You're actually being really, just think about it. That could just be a teeth alien, and that he could be beautiful.
Guess what? It's the same like those booger people. No.
Who are the booger people?
In the short
The sh-
track.
Thank
Oh,
you.
the burger people. Yep. The burger people.
No,
Oh,
I don't.
ew.
I don't
Yeah.
care. No, that is a hard no.
I feel
He-
like the gum people probably give really good blowjobs.
I mean, most people take their dentures out, say that they do.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's a gummer. It's, that's what they call it.
There you go.
I don't know anything about any of that.
Just you wait. You're still wet behind your ears. I said it was a great opening to like what this was going to be, but I still had no idea what it was going to be. I was like, who's this weird man taking this person's pain?
It set the stage for
Yeah.
whoa, this is different. This is like a
Different.
different Star Trek movie.
Correct.
Well, also it's like the great reveal where you're like, it's like this charismatic figure that has like that is in touch with people's emotions, and then the hood comes off and you see the ears, and then he laughs, and then everyone's like, you're like,
a laughing Vulcan.
Mm-hmm. Wrong.
Maybe it's just a Vulcan suit and there's a tiny thing inside of it driving it.
Correct.
I thought it was just a Romulan, but
right, exactly, could be that as well. Yeah,
but Romulans laugh evil.
That's true.
They laugh, but it's all the same laugh.
The happy Romulan.
Have you heard, Mike Jones, who they originally wanted to play Cybok?
Yes, please tell us.
Sean Connery.
But he was busy with another movie that this competed against, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original?
No, he's in the third one.
Okay.
Yeah. The Last Crusade.
Okay. Would they have let him keep his Scottish brogue?
Sure.
I'm not sure he could drop it.
Sean Connery.
No, so here's the thing. That's early Sean Connery, right? Like, has he always had his accent in all of his movies? Like, I've not watched all of his movies, so I can't, you know what I mean? Like, so they could have said to him, hey, we need you to do a different voice so that we don't just hear Sean Connery.
I think so. Earlier in his career, he tried to not, I think, have the voice. Like he's in Darby O'Gill and the Little People as an Irish person, and he doesn't do the.
What are you
Scottish
saying
voice.
to me?
It's Darby O'Gill and the Little People. It's
My goodness.
Very young Sean Connery, very young.
Okay.
Pre James Bond. Anyway, so in a way, Sean Connery lives on in this film because they named heaven after him, Shakari, Sean Connery. That literally is on purpose. Yeah, they did.
But no,
that's a little exhausting to me.
It's exhausting.
Tomato.
Austin's done.
Tomato,
He's like, I need to turn off my camera.
Here, give me a sec.
Tomato.
Austin has gone blank. He's turned his camera off.
Oh,
we gotta do another hour.
Yep, the jokes get progressively worse as we go along.
Right. And we haven't even gotten into Grey's Anatomy yet.
Yeah, it wasn't y'all's joke.
Okay. All right. And then go ahead.
Shatner was inspired by televangelists when he created, so he kind of created this character.
Yes.
Yeah, the like
That's
Jimmy Swaggart,
yep.
Jim Bakers of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lawrence Luckenbill, who plays Cybok, does a good job.
Stop it. That my brain has broken. I literally stage managed for that man in his one-man show Hemingway at the Abington Theater Company in 2005. And I was looking.
Shut up!
I literally was looking. I was like,
just placed this just now.
Yes,
in real time on the pod.
Yes. I said
you watched the whole movie.
Yes, but the whole time I'm like, okay, I can only focus on when I haven't seen something like, oh, I'm taking everything in. I was like, he looks familiar, but not like familiar. Like this is 2005. Like, listen,
that is amazing.
No, I'm figuring something out about you, which is that maybe the next time we meet, I'm gonna have to introduce myself again.
Absolutely.
maybe
It is
the next like
absolutely correct.
5 times,
Mhm.
but we'll get
Yeah,
there.
we'll get there. Oh my God, that is wild. Hell yes. I still have the script probably upstairs. It was great show.
What was it like working with Cybok?
He was lovely. He
Yeah.
really like he was committed to make like he had written it. It's about Hemingway and his life. Um, but him writing in not Miami, Key West,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
so
Hemingway
um and
with the
so
cats.
the cats and so he was really dedicated to like making sure that like he got his lines that like because they were very specific like he was really into the storytelling making sure that everything was sort of like letter perfect but he was lovely like went to his apartment to run lines. He loved the donuts from across the street, so he'd get 2 glazed donuts and a coffee and I'd bring it up. Like wild. That's so fucking
Amazing.
wild. He's lovely. He's a lovely man.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. We
He's still alive.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
still alive. I heard him interviewed on, I
uh
think, the Trexpert channel. Someone
Inglorious
had him on.
Trexperts. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they had him on.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's married to uh Lucille Ball's daughter.
Correct.
Um crap, what is her name? Arnez,
That I
something
can't.
Arnez.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, he is still married. When it's my brain has broken for the rest of this evening. I don't know why I did not piece any of this together until literally right now. Thank you, Mike Jones. Okay, continue. I'm done
Well,
with my moment.
I'm just realizing that the gums guy, the gums alien,
Mm.
Mhm.
that's my uncle.
Ha ha ha.
I was just a little jealous.
Nice. Nice.
Don't be
I wanted to
jealous.
be
Everyone has.
included. I want to be.
Listen, don't worry. You're here with us, always included. Oh my God. Go ahead. I'm listening, Mike Jones. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, so but yeah, he was inspired by the televangelists from in the 80s that were, taking people's money and kind of brainwashing
Still
them and
do.
yeah, still do. And the whole cult kind of thing. So I think that was an interesting inspiration. I feel like Cybok is even more complicated than those real life people because he's not trying to get money out of people. He's not
Hmm.
conning them. I think that he was honestly
He
helping people.
believes. He,
He
he's a, he,
re
bel- he's a true believer.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
true believer.
I did wonder honestly how it worked, right? Like
Mm.
how it was that so you know how Vulcans can mind meld or like, you can
Hmm.
my mind to your mind. I wonder if it's that without having to put fingers on because if you notice like they're looking into
Hmm.
his eyes or he's sort of touching them in a way but not like in the bad way. Um because when he does it for McCoy, we that's the first time that we get to see a
Right.
person go through the pain and then release it. So it seems like he has the ability to project
Hmm.
or unlock an extra, I don't know, manifold in your mind to make you be able to be in that place that you were that the pain stems from.
Hmm.
And so I just wonder like what it is that he has that he can do that.
It comes across as a really good hypnotherapist.
Yes.
Um,
Like the tenor of his voice,
Yeah.
the way
Yeah, and
what
I
he
didn't
said.
that scene with McCoy. I didn't take that scene with McCoy to be like an expansion of his powers. Like I just took that as like a narrative cheat.
oh,
Like
oh,
I
that
didn't
that
feel like
Kirk
there was
could
anybody
watch.
behind the scenes who would really thought through what his exact powers were. They were
Mm,
just not going to explain it. And this gave us the ability to like actually see what he's doing inside people's brain. Why could Kirk and Spock see it? I don't think that they really had an answer to that.
Yeah,
okay.
I
yeah.
mean,
Okay.
original series, right? They have like Spock. Sometimes he can kind of get vibes through a solid rock, and other time, like I
Hmm.
feel like they
Hmm.
just kind of. I mean, I guess that's the fun thing whenever you make an alien is that you get to just kind of decide that it fits whatever you need it to fit, and then they just keep making more and more and more TV. And now there's like people like us, 40, 50, 60 years after they made the show, who are probably a lot more invested in the mechanics than they were when they made it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I feel like the whole, because yeah, like it was like therapy, but that feels like a, because then you have like our characters who we like know and love and we've watched them for 3 seasons kind of betray our guy. Like Ahura, that I was like, she's stronger than that.
Yeah.
She's stronger than that.
Oh, absolutely. It was unsettling to see our heroes get brainwashed and cross over to the other side.
And so it was like hard for me to
Yeah.
figure out, like, am I supposed to take this as like is this like a kind of a brainwash, slash like zombie slash like that type of movie idea? Or is this like they're truly converts, like a cult?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know.
It does seem like if he was just a good hypnotherapist, and he's freeing them of their pain or kind of releasing, you know, something in their brain that helps them deal with things better, a coping mechanism of some sort, that wouldn't necessarily make them then want to just do whatever he says. So there's
Yeah.
like a second part to it where, suddenly they are on Team Cybok,
Right.
You know how it's very heavy in the religious culty of it all, right? Like the spreading of the word, like it is your doctrine to go and share the gospel and bring as many people over. So that mixed with the fact that you have this new euphoric state where whatever you were holding on to that in some way was holding you back, you're like, oh, I want someone else to feel that. Like when you eat something really good and you're like, oh, you have to taste this. Like I
Mm,
I've had the most you have to taste this so that you
mm,
can feel like I feel. And yeah, Uhura is strong, but let's be clear. She was carrying there was a lot of pressure on her as the sole black woman on the bridge. She had to deal with a
mhm.
whole lot of bullshit. So she said, you know what, if I can take all these microaggressions and let them go and all that pain, then I can feel better. And
They don't
also,
have microaggressions in the 23rd century.
oh yes, they do. They're gonna
Yeah. You
let
remember when
let's
her and Abraham Lincoln were kikiing?
let's
Oh, right. Oh,
I
God.
caught that.
let's just be clear that there's always going to be
Oh, my
microaggressions.
God.
Quick question:
Mhm.
Are we to believe that Scotty and Uhura?
Yes. Yes. What is
Yeah.
that? Like,
Suddenly they're hooking up in this movie.
yeah, and then never
No.
again.
Okay, but Ahura is like flirty. She's so
No,
flirty
no,
with
no, no,
Scott. I think
no, 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 no. This was not just flirt. He like there was caressing. There was a lassie. There was a he was giving her the we have kikied with our clothes off
Oh yeah.
type
no,
of
I didn't see that.
energy.
I didn't see that
Oh
part of the
yeah.
movie.
You didn't want to see that
I
because
didn't
that was
see that.
Well,
clear
you
I
know
didn't
when
as
see that part of the
crystal.
movie.
when it
No,
was
you said
clear
Vulcan brainwash.
was when he wakes up from having been knocked out and
Yeah.
she's like all over
Stupidly.
his face and like that was like
No, I like
I
that he
didn't
was
So
see
knocked
that
that
out.
part
was
either.
that was like she was post brainwash at that
Mm.
point. So were they hooking up before,
they were certainly
or
flirting when
did
everyone else
They
is
were
on shore
flirting
leave.
before. Yeah.
and that unlocked the inhibitions fell and
Oh,
suddenly
so we're saying we're going back to
it's naked now.
all now. Yeah. Circle back to naked now.
And can we
Yes.
maybe record a
Oh,
pod ever without mentioning the naked now?
No,
let's
we
not
No.
can't.
even bring up because I
I feel
heard.
I feel like we need to have a bingo card and be like, or like they need to do like a shots game with our
Everybody drink.
podcast.
Everybody
Everybody
drink.
drink when we mention certain things.
Yes.
Um, okay, so
Let's not even talk about
I just want to
Tasha.
pull that up. Armis forever. So
Right.
Okay, okay.
go ahead. I'm listening.
Are you ready to take me down to the Paradise City where the grass
The
is grown and
Grun.
the girls have 3 boobs?
I said he got his titties.
He
I
did.
said
He
someone
did.
gave that man his
Roddenberry's
titties.
like, I have nothing to contribute to this movie, but I need a woman
Uh,
with 3 boobs.
And it's not a woman, it's a cat. So
It's a cat.
it's 1989. Cats had
okay.
been
It's like
Cats had been
Morris.
on
Broadway for like
Broadway.
On the Broadway.
8-9 years at that point.
Correct. So he said, well, that's a great meow. 3
Throw a
titties.
Jellicle in there.
I screamed. I said, I literally wrote it down. He got his titties.
I love that you had to make a note of that, like you weren't gonna remember it.
I was,
Yeah.
but now I was making notes of a lot of things. So I was like, I'm taking this seriously.
Speaking of screaming, I feel like I should kind of let y'all in on some. My viewing experience for this was sort of partitioned. I went over to a friend's house, and I was like, hey, so remember that time whenever I showed you that really good Trek movie with the whales? And they're like, yeah, we loved it. And I was like, okay, so now let's watch a not good one. And they're like, okay. Right at the end of the camping scene, somebody screams. So we did pause the movie for about an hour and a half, because there was a mouse that was then subsequently captured. They made it a little enclosure. They went from hating it to loving it. They named it. So a lot happened in my life, sort of in those after those first 20 minutes. And I just feel like it's important as a reviewer in this space to sort of explain that, like, there was a
We're
shift
distracted.
for me. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because then it was in that little squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I was like, you need to shut the hell up because I'm doing my fucking homework, first of all. Right? And it's scrambling around. They're like, oh, it's so cute. I'm like, it's not. It's a vermin. It's a pest. And not an hour ago, we were all on the same side. And now you've been mind meld converted and you want peace and love. And I think we need to drop it out the window.
So what
Not
happened to the
dropping out
mouse?
Yeah,
what happened to the mouse?
That's a wild animal.
They've had it for like 2 weeks. They found 2 more. They got the exterminator. And I was like, okay, so y'all are cool with keeping.
Does nobody have a cat?
That is a lot.
They finally released the mice, and I made them record it on video for proof.
Did they
'Cause I'm not
release it
going
far
over there
away?
again.
Did they release it far away? Oh, because they'll come right
That's
back.
above me. That's above
Yeah.
me. I can only do so much. I can't be their mother. You know what I mean? Like it's too. I've already done enough. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So there is before mouse, PM, and after mouse, AM, and that's
Okay.
sort of how I experienced this movie. So we are now at the part of the movie that was after mouse,
Okay.
and every
Okay.
now and again there's a little squeak, and that might
Got it.
color my experience.
Got it.
Fair
So
enough.
we're on Nimbus 3 in
Yes.
Paradise City, and there's a mouse loose. Okay, I got it.
Why did they make a galactic planet of peace? Like I understand, Romulus 5, no. Raycon 5, no. What's the pleasure planet where everybody goes for short? Where
Oh,
Riker goes?
Risa?
Risa. Thank you.
Sure.
Could get to it.
Well, at this point, the Federation and the Klingons and the Romulans are all enemies, right? Like, there's no peace treaties
Oh.
between any of them.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it was supposed to be this, like, I think, experiment to try to, like, broker peaceful whatever.
To see if
but
everyone could
it
coexist together
failed.
on this planet.
Yeah.
And who's left is those 3 ambassadors, I'll call
Right.
them. And then, and then the bald-headed people.
Right. Well, the
a couple
cast
of
from
cats.
Mad Max.
Mhm.
Right. It doesn't seem like this is a planet with natives. It feels like everyone has like settled there from somewhere.
Okay.
Right.
There's no indigenous humanoids.
Right. It's City Alpha 5.
Yeah, and it's interesting that they call the human a Terran.
Mhm.
Terran, right? I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like the first.
That's the problem. Okay, this is
Go for it.
an issue I had. This is off topic, but in Discovery, when
Yes.
they talk about the mirror universe, there is the Terran Empire, but then they use Terran as if that means from the mirror universe.
Yeah.
Like she Giorgio reveals herself at some point. She was like, I'm Terran. And I'm like, that just means you're from Terra, which is Earth. Like, that's all that means. It doesn't mean that you're from a mirror universe.
That's what it meant in the New World.
Right. And that's in Star Trek 5, it is, Terra is Earth. I mean, that's like, Latin for dirt. and
Fact check.
Terrans are Earth or Earthlings.
Okay.
Anyway, so there you go.
Okay. That rang in my head where I was like, huh, Terrans. We're
Terran.
back to that word again. Side note. Go ahead. Side note. What the hell happened to the ship? Why is Scotty having to fix everything? What?
Okay, let's put a pin in that. I'm
Pin.
going to get back to that real quick. Let's talk about just quickly our ambassadors.
Yes.
You might recognize them. The Klingon, General Cord, played by Charles Cooper, is in 2 episodes of The Next Generation as Chancellor Kimpek, who is killed.
Oh, it's the same guy. Really?
Same actor. And the guy, the Terran, St. John Talbot, is David Warner, who is a amazing Shakespearean actor, who is also in Star Trek: The Next Generation, Chain of Command as Gul Madred.
For sure.
Wait, the episode
How many
Chain of
lights?
Command.
He's the one who tortures Picard and says, "How many lights do you see?"
Oh,
That's that.
I don't know the names of the episodes, but if you tell me it's the How Many Lights episode, I'm right there with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Same actor.
And
And you'll see him in the next movie too.
And yes, he's in a totally different role. Like he's not even a human in the next movie.
Yeah.
And the Romulan ambassador I knew very well.
Oh.
Cynthia Gao. I followed her career as a spokesmodel on Star Search.
Shut up.
Yep, that's where she was. She literally was like, and I remember like her winning, or I don't know if she won Star, but she like went far on Star Search. And then they're like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm in the next Star Trek movie." I was like, "What?" But also notice that she is a Romulan. How did they make her a Romulan? There's like a little eyebrow suggestion, and then they put jewelry on her ears so you can't see the points.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
I love.
How are we supposed to know?
Though.
Kinda,
oh yeah.
And then
that,
she like her entrance in like the cloak with like the the big hair sticking up and the
She knows how to make an entrance.
But wait, here's the thing: aren't Romulans supposed to have hard bangs too, like Vulcans?
They usually do.
But
they have a
but not always. Like Laris doesn't,
and she needs your support.
Yeah, she has my support.
You're tearing her down. Okay.
No tearing down.
Like we were all kind of getting together on this podcast to tear my
I just like to
down.
ask questions. I just need clarity because there's certain precedents that have been set, and Romulans have similar eyebrows, ears, and harsh bangs, and she had none of the above.
Let it be said, we are pro Caitlin Dar, the Romulan representative, who for some reason all of her, I'm just looking at my notes, all of her dialogue was overdubbed by her. They brought her in to loop everything, and they didn't do that for the others. And I didn't know that until I heard an interview with her, and this time when I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, she sounds totally weird compared to everybody else.
What? Why would they do that? Because did she have like a microphone problem in the?
Did she have a very?
Shoot?
She claims to not know why, but maybe she wasn't giving a good enough performance and they wanted her to overdub it. I don't know.
Well, they could have figured that out at the, they're...
1989. 1989. There you go. Okay.
Okay, let's leave Paradise City behind. The Enterprise.
Bye.
Why is the Enterprise falling apart?
Are you asking?
I don't know. I am.
No good reason. It's a new ship.
No, because it's a new one. It's a new one.
So why the fuck is it broken?
Because they're still building it.
So
it's their shakedown cruise.
No. Hold on, Mike Jones, because you're gonna say something actually smart, and I'm just gonna say something from my gut. Bullshit. They present them with guess what? You're no longer an ambassador because you suck at that role. I mean, an admiral. You are now going back to being a captain, which you're good at. Here's a brand new fucking ship. It looked done. Like maybe we had to put a couple more phasers in, a couple more torpedoes, but the shit was done. Why are they now on a ship as if they've gone to war? And the only person who can fix it is Scotty and a handful of engineers. Like, we're on here with a skeleton crew. What?
Why? Why is this
exciting? It's exciting. It's like, we don't have the manpower. Our ship is like basically broken, but we've got to go and go to the, you know what I mean? Like I
It
Only
was
feel
too
ship in the
much.
quadrant.
No, see, that was stupid. Like you needed to give me something to be
well, that
like,
part was a little silly. They're at space dock and they're the closest ship.
Right?
what are we talking
And
about?
that they um I feel like they needed the transporters to not work
Right.
Fine,
for the
Right.
moment at the end, but
fine.
that could have been done with some other technobabble. It didn't have to be that the ship is a piece of crap.
No,
Um
Okay.
it could have
because
been
it
that the warp core couldn't hold the manifold and the plasma
right.
injector was offline.
And I've
Yeah,
been telling
Okay.
them
right.
that and they would not listen.
And I've always said that. Um so
Okay.
here's a little dark behind the scenes. I don't think this is canon, but um so in Star Trek 4, we see two ships attacked by the probe. One
Yes.
has Captain what's her name being
Mm-hmm.
fabulous, and the other
Madge
ship,
Sinclair, sorry.
Madge Sinclair. The other ship is the Yorktown.
Mm-hmm.
And we see their captain. I don't know that we learn his name. I don't know the actor's name either. But like the lights are going out, and like it's like a distress thing, and then we never see them again. So in the I guess apocryphal, uh, everyone on that ship died
Mm-hmm.
because the power went out. So
Correct.
then they scraped the name off and gave it the name Enterprise A.
You know
I'm not
what?
making that up.
Here's the thing. I would rather go with that than you get a new ship, you get a new ship, and then your ship is shit. That
Yeah.
doesn't like it's one of the like I can go, you know me. I will dive in. I can go with the story. I am with you. But
Mhm.
it just I was like they just got it. They haven't said that time has passed. It wasn't like, you know,
Mm,
10 years after or 3 years after. Like they didn't really look that much older. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's been couple of months. Maybe it's been a
yeah.
couple of years. They've done some things because now they're on shore leave. So that means that some time has had to have passed from,
Mm.
excuse me, when they got the ships and saved the whale. I mean, got the ship and saved the whales. But what?
I don't
That was
think
Yeah.
much time has passed at all. My
No.
my assumption watching this is that they got
okay.
their new ship. They had their like big moment. We're gonna take you to your new ship. You're gonna do like a little trip around the block, and
Mm-hmm.
then actually come to find out,
Mm,
ship's not done yet.
I
We
mean,
need
Scotty
more
says that.
work.
He's like, the captain said, let's see what she's got. And then we found out, didn't we? Like, it's like they immediately found out, oh, they gave us a lemon.
Wait, are they trying to do the thing they did before in the first what number was it where it was like we had where those are getting installed next week?
Oh,
Oh,
Generations
generations.
on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tractor
Like
Beam
is
comes on Tuesday.
okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the
I
same
just
thing. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it
literally the same
is.
thing.
It is. It is this
Okay.
it's the same
Yeah, they
trope.
just couldn't come up with something else.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
I'm
And
sorry.
it's sad because I love the bridge design. I'm sitting on that bridge right now virtually. Um we see this bridge again in the next movie, redressed a little bit, but it's a beautiful
Ooh.
design. But like, yeah, it's falling apart, and it's sad. Kirk's chair's all wobbly.
I like
Um,
my old chair better. The
I
little like
know
trying to like the oh, what is with the
the
book trying
comedy.
to do a cap? Okay, there was actual comedy and then there was stupid comedy. Like
Yeah. Hmm.
McCoy to me was like the comic relief of this. Like
Oh
his
yeah.
straight, I laughed. I mean, where they expected me to laugh, I did because he was funny. Like he
Hmm.
just was funny. I don't know if it was the meds. I don't know if he was on the tail end of what, but DeForest Kelly was on fire for me during this movie. I was like, oh, they've been underusing you, Bones, because you're funny as shit.
Well, I think a lot of what was happening, right, is so much of this movie is influenced by the fact that Star Trek 4 was a mega hit.
Yeah.
Mm,
And they knew that there was like all of these differing opinions on what that meant for the next movie.
Hmm.
understood.
Like, are we recreating that? Are we going a different direction? And I think that what Paramount kept saying, like that Shatner's idea for this movie, he wanted to do something sort of uh, pondering the nature of existence and God and the universe and
I
Right.
all
was
of
with
that.
it.
You wanted to swing big,
I
take
wanted more
on
whales.
big, heavy issues. And Paramount's like, yeah, but we don't want to lose the comedy. So add back in the comedy. So there's all this comedy that's sort of like
Yeah.
pasted on.
It does
Yeah.
feel pasted on.
Does it?
And
I mean,
some of it
does
doesn't.
and some of it doesn't.
Oh,
Right.
I'll give you that because a lot of the things that I chuckled at and sort of like made note of made sense in the moment. Like it didn't feel opposite to what the character would do. Like who the character core was. Like you still
Some of
got the
Like the
oh
jailbreak.
no.
Scotty's funny in this
Oh,
movie.
Scotty's funny in this movie, except he hits his head for no reason. Like that was dumb. Yeah, some of the best stuff is Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
as is always true. But there's a
Yes.
moment in when they're back on the ship because
Yep.
the shore leave ended and they're in the turbo lift, and Kirk's like, I could use a shower, and Spock just looks him and says, yes.
Yes.
Like that's funny.
That's funny. Listen.
That like deadpan. That's
Yes.
funny.
When they're around the campfire and they're trying to get him to sing the song, and Bones is
Right.
like, I like him better before he died. Like,
Yeah,
That was funny.
Wait,
that was funny.
wait a second. This is literally only for Mike Jones because I'm gonna say that Lanita had no idea about this movie at the time. Austin maybe was not alive at the time. Did you have that marshmallow dispenser?
I did not have the marshmallow dispenser.
that was gonna be my next thing. That thing is
I
fucking
literally saved the UPC
Yeah.
symbol off of cereal boxes, collected them.
Yep. You can get it
I
on
think
eBay.
actually off of Marshmallow, right? And
I
then
think it was
Kraft.
UPC symbols off something.
Off of Kraft, and then mailed it, put it in the mail, and then I got that toy.
You did?
Yes.
How did it work?
Of
Did you
course he
just
did.
have
He
to like
loves mail.
shove
You just
marshmallows in
it
it and
takes
it would
hold
push
about
them
like
out?
2 or 3 marshmallows tops, and then you
Yeah.
just push it, and then they come out. And
I'm
it
so
looks
sorry, but I still have not gotten enough context to understand. I it's a toy that what is
when
it?
Okay, when
when
Spock at the
Mhm.
when he's like, I did some digging about what one does at campfires, and he extrudes a marshmallow. It looks like a mini replicator.
It looks like it's replicating the
And
marshmallow.
I was like, oh, it's replicating a marshmallow. I'm like, well,
And-
what do you do with it? We're going to toast it. He said toast it, not roast.
Not
He
yeah.
said, he said toast it.
Also,
yeah.
I watched it over and over. He says marshmallow.
Yes.
Yes.
And then they make fun of him for it.
I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, what? It was that more comedy?
I don't maybe it was just a slip of the tongue and they left it in.
A marshmallow.
And so it was like I was like, "Oh, that's cool." The fact that they offered it, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because there's not much that you would really be like, yeah, I'm gonna save up for because phasers don't work. Like pew pew, you have to make the noise. But to be able to extrude a marshmallow to be like, I'm replicating it, I could see that as like a kid being the
God.
absolute best.
Oh yes, no, and I was definitely 17. That's right.
Technically still a child. You were not 18, which is adult.
Oh my God.
No, I think I was 10.
Yeah. If I'm not one to camp, but if I was ever around a campfire, I would want one of those marshmallow dispensers.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like how it was the exact size of the thing that he happened to need. You know what I mean? Like, didn't it have like it was coming out of the dispenser.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was
It's like,
perfect. It was
how specific is that particular device? That like, does it only make marshmallows? Does it only make items
Good
that are
question.
that particular size, or it only makes cylinders? Like, I wonder.
It makes hot dogs. It makes anything
need
that
a
is
movie on that.
cylindrical.
that's some fat hot dogs.
Yeah, we
It's
after Section
bratwurst.
31, we need one on. I think
On
this is-
food replicators, mini
Yes,
food
this is the
replicators.
next direction for the series.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Before my brain goes to somewhere random.
Mhm.
Okay, so oh, this is an interesting behind the scenes note. The admiral who pops up on the screen to tell
yeah.
Kirk, like give him his orders,
Mhm.
is producer Harv Bennett. Just getting a little screen time. Yeah,
Yeah.
random.
And Harv Bennett is really more than anyone responsible for movies 2 through 6.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
In terms of
'Cause
like,
Roddenberry
Funding?
was out and they hired him in. He was from the TV division. So Star Trek 2 was made by the Paramount Television division on a
Oh.
lower budget. And then he did so well with it that he kept doing them through 5.
Interesting.
Also, we meet, I guess, the actual villains of this movie, the Klingons.
weird Klingon story in this movie, right? Because they're
Weird.
just like, oh, Kirk. Kirk is someone we should kill. That will bring us honor. That's literally it.
Yeah, it was sort
That
of
is
nothing.
it. Yep.
It
Yeah.
was like they could have just been like they were the exact level that they didn't need to be, where they could have been just on the screen, like for like the 5 seconds where they in like the normal episodes where they like appear on the screen, they're like,
Oh yeah.
we're the enemies of this episode, and then go close the and then the screen, but or they could have had like their
You
whole
get more of
fleshed
them.
out characters, but they sort of got to have just a few too many lines.
They were the WWE
Yeah.
Klingons.
Yes.
Yeah, they were.
Or
They
the porn
were.
Klingons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were two-dimensional. Like when you think of generic Klingon, this is the guy.
Yeah. I want to shoot things. I want to get honor.
Right.
And
Like
that's
heavy metal hair.
it. And jumping ahead, just
Mhm.
because it still was strange. Once the ambassador got on the Klingon vessel and he
Mhm.
said, he made him apologize, which is wild. It was like Klingons don't apologize. He just should have
Yeah.
chopped his head off. Whatever. Like
Yeah.
like I'd rather die than apologize. Like that's my
Oof.
understanding of Klingons. Like, I'm sorry, it wasn't authorized by my
I
government.
apologize.
What?
Yeah.
And
What?
Kirk's face, like, what is happening?
And that was added in. That was added in a later version of it.
Really?
Yeah, because I was
That's-
reading in the 50-year
Because
mission.
Kirk has to be right and everybody else has to get their comeuppance.
Oh, stupid.
It was weird.
That part was dumb.
I mean, I was
And-
all about the general, the ambassador guy, like taking over and being like, you know what? Actually, I'm not
My
out
ship.
to pasture. Like, I actually can do something
Yes.
still. I'm not retired. Like,
Correct.
and taking
Look what
command
I did.
of the
Saved your
ship.
ass.
Right. But yeah, throwing in the and that whole scene after that, not to jump to the very end of the movie,
No,
but
we can
that
do
whole
it.
scene in the observation lounge where there's the bodybuilder lady Klingon and
Ice muscles.
oh yeah, right. And uh I want to say Takei. But Sulu and Chekhov are like following her and it's so what is happening? Why are they all on the Enterprise?
They just
none of that
they
made
threw a
sense.
reception.
Yeah,
let's
they
have a
all
reception.
learned peace. They learned peace through the mind meld.
No, terrible.
Weird.
That I will say, not good.
But it did give us not in front of the Klingons, Captain.
That joint
Yeah.
that made me laugh
They almost let
because
Spurk happen.
that was funny to me because I like the callback. I honestly like the callback, the little bit of sentimentality of him falling off a mountain. I'm not going to die because I always said I was going to die alone. And to cut to him thinking that he's alone on that planet with the evil that we never really get to see, except that it has laser eyes. And for Spock to say something actually kind, like kind and warm, I was like, oh, again, I wrote it down. Like, and then it was too sentimental, so they had to try to make it funny. Like they were like, we can't end on this. Like he's being sweet when he was honestly being logical, being like, you were never alone because we've always got your back. Like I enjoy that about that trio, right? Like they're always gonna have each other, but I don't know. It got weird at the end. Can we? No, sorry, Mike Jones, go for your list. Sorry, what's next on
Oh
the?
no, keep going.
When they, in general, everybody thinks that in the middle of the universe, not everyone, there are a faction of people who believe in the middle of the universe there is nirvana. We'll call it a planet of paradise, like going through. What do they call it when you like in Lord of the Rings when you sail off Valhalla, you go off into the middle distance, but you have to die
Okay.
then, but you're not dying to go to the middle of the universe, right?
Right.
So
Middle of the galaxy.
middle of the galaxy, thank you. Is this just something that Vulcans believe? Question one.
Yeah, good question.
Okay, no answer. Great. Two, how is there something there? Like like yes, Damien.
I got a better question, right?
Ah,
They have established that this thing is
yes.
set in the middle of the galaxy, and that there is a
Yes.
galactic barrier somehow, right? That
Yes.
surrounds the
Right.
middle of the galaxy that you
I
can't
thought
break
that was
through.
at the edge of the galaxy.
I think
No,
there's
it's at the
two.
oh,
Okay, sorry, Damon.
keep
You
going.
tell us, but then I have a question. I have a follow-up
Sure.
question.
Yeah. But that now, if we think about, right, we learn over the course of mostly the '90s Star Treks, right, that we've got quadrants of the galaxy. We're all
Yeah.
in the Alpha Quadrant. The Klingons, the Romulans are maybe in the Beta. We're like at the edge of the Alpha Beta. Then
Right.
there's the Gamma, and then there's the Delta, right? Delta Quadrant. Voyager is what, 70 years at maximum warp away from the
Yeah.
Alpha Quadrant, right? And so we think of the galaxy as a very big place. Like it takes us
Correct.
years and years and years to get from one section
Right.
of it to another,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they just sort of happen to be
Right.
near the like, and so like, and they make all these references like we've come so far and the journey is long and hard,
Mm-hmm.
but there
Is
isn't
it
a
though?
journey. They just kind of happen to already be
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And then this like, are we gonna cross like the galactic barrier? They just kind of go through it and then they're there.
They're like
Mm-hmm.
no
And then
probe
they go
ever
back, no problem.
returned. Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
being like a sci-fi nitpicker. Like that's not where
Right.
they are in the galaxy. But then you're like, it's
Yeah.
not.
But
It
it,
does it,
I had
it has
questions.
narrative consequence. I think it's fair
yes.
whenever it's like it's not just being a nitpicker trying to like make the everything fit. It means something to the story.
It
And so it's
does.
like it feels hollow, and that makes the story feel hollow.
Yeah.
It makes the
I mean
story
the
feel
ship
hollow because there's no actual journey. They don't
No.
actually
right.
like it. Just as soon as they decide to go there, they are already there, and clearly no time has passed because they're all standing in this. They're all wearing the same clothes. They're all standing
Yeah.
in the same place on the bridge. Like
Well, the Enterprise is traveling at the speed of plot. It's just whatever it just needs to get
I
there.
like that. Oh, that was good.
Because it jumps from Earth, space dock, to Nimbus 3, wherever that is, and then boom, center
Yes.
of the galaxy. Like, yeah.
I guess we're to believe that the Peace Planet was
Mhm.
near the center of the galaxy.
Sure.
You might be doing
Right.
more work than they did.
Oh,
I'm not
absolutely.
Already,
That is
yeah.
You are writing a better
welcome.
story.
Welcome to the way that I fill in the gaps. When you say like no probe has ever come back. Of course it didn't come back because laser eyes shot it out
Like,
of wherever. Yeah, like we never. Is there any backstory, any insider trading on what this alien was supposed to be, what this entity was supposed to be? It reminds me of two things: the computer on that planet that broke down, and then the hand, the green hand that comes out of the planet that tried to
Apollo's hand?
Yeah, the
yeah,
green. Yeah,
you know what I'm
we see it
talking.
in the opening
Yeah.
of Lower Decks.
Oh yeah. The hand pops. Yeah, but that's from Who Mourns for Adonai.
For Adonai, yes.
Right.
That one.
He said who moans?
Who moans?
Yeah.
Well,
right.
maybe I thought Adonai was kind of cute. But
For the hand.
so the answer is yes. So
okay.
here's the background.
Go.
So first of all, in Shatner's original story treatment, they go to seek God, like actual God God, and they find the devil instead, the actual Satan. And they got a lot of pushback on that.
Yeah, and
somebody was
that's
like,
a
wait,
shitty
maybe
idea.
yeah, like whatever we do to present what God looks like is not going to be good. Maybe it's a alien pretending to be God. Like that's something we can do. So that the script changed. In the novels, and of course the novels are, apocryphal, the Shakari entity is identified as the One, and he was drawn into this universe through the Guardian of Forever by an entity known as O, and was defeated by the Q continuum and locked away in the galactic center as punishment. So that entity is there because the Q continuum has imprisoned him there.
And are we to believe that he spoke to Cybok in some kind of way to draw him there, or is it just coincidence that he happened to be there and Cybok decided like that was the place where his journey should go?
I
I
had not
got
even
the
thought of
vibe
that.
that Steinbach was getting like little signals, but I don't know if we're having that question, having all watched the movie, then that's not great.
Yeah. I mean,
But
if
Wait,
Spock
Damien,
was
what was your
getting if
would
Spock
Spock?
was able to get Juju from V'ger from the other, in the first movie, maybe Cybok was getting,
Oh,
tingles from this
Jones.
entity.
Like
maybe because he's full Vulcan, it's a different. He's got a stronger sense of the vibes
And he hasn't
versus
shut off his emotions in the way normal Vulcans have. So that
ooh
made him susceptible.
open,
I
not susceptible. He was
we
open to the vibes. I will say
this is
that
all a
we're
lot of
filling in
made
some
up
gaps.
speculation on our
Yes.
absolutely
we're
that's
doing
what
a
we
It's
lot
do
of
not in the
here.
work.
movie.
That's beautiful. Someone
I
had to do it, and they didn't.
yeah.
They didn't do it.
They sure didn't.
It honestly it reminds me of if we go with the original impetus that this person is a televangelist, like they believe wholeheartedly the thing that they're selling. Like at a certain point it may have started off as a grift, right? But at a certain point you really believe, like Jim Jones, was that the one who killed all the people in Levittown and drank that poison? Like he
Yeah.
really believed that if
It
everybody
wasn't
died,
Levittown.
uh what was it called? Jamestown? Terrytown? It was some town that he
Terry,
had that he I know Terrytown's an actual
Terry
place, but
Townsend stop
Le-
on the Hudson
Le-
line.
Yeah,
I know,
Jamestown is
I know.
I'm
also,
like, Levittown
I
is in
think,
Long Island.
Jonestown.
Yeah, I think it was just Jonestown. Yeah.
I think it's just
Jonestown, thank you.
Jonestown. Yeah.
Listen, you got to help me out sometimes. That
He's
if
just
everybody
listening to
drank,
stops on the New Jersey Transit.
I
Right,
am.
exactly.
SEPTA to Philadelphia. Wissinoming.
Croton on the Heart, Hudson, Beacon,
Oh my God.
Cold Springs. That at a certain point you really believe the thing that you're selling. So I honestly believe that Cybok thinks that this is God, capital G,
Mhm.
until he is brought out of that sort of, we'll call it a delusion, right?
Mhm.
When Kirk literally asks, what does God need of a ship? And
Mhm.
that
God
was
needed
the
stars.
thing, like that sort of started to break into his psyche. And again, when he decides to shoot dirt, like zapping people, like, sir, what are we doing? It it was only then that he understood that what he was actually searching for was not this, and that this was not what he thought it was going to be. And then him
Right.
sacrificing himself was very strange, but I
It got very Old
appreciate
Testament.
it did. It
Well, okay. I have a question about the sacrificing himself because he's like, he first to his credit. I mean, he's supposed to be brilliant, right? Like Spock says, he's one of the gifted Vulcan minds. Blah blah
Mhm.
blah. As soon as it clicks in his head that Cybok is not God and that this is not Shakari,
Yeah.
he's like, "What have I done? This is all my
Mhm.
fault.
Mhm.
Like, I'm like, save yourselves. I'm gonna do my mind meldy thing with him." So then he's like, he says to the God entity, I look at your pain. Let me take your pain."
Mhm.
Um, and then Kirk orders a photon torpedo. Now, Cybok never said, "Hey, when I'm doing this, photon torpedo us."
Mm-mm. No.
Like, do you think he was trying to sacrifice himself? Or do you think he thought he could like fix the entity with his powers? And then Kirk was like, fuck that.
Wow.
I think what you said, and I stand corrected. But I do think that he did realize the error of his ways and was trying to solve for X, right? Like
Yeah.
see if he could give me a pain. I don't like that I never know. I mean, I always want to know what the actual entity looks like. That's why, like in
Yeah.
Cat's Paw, when they turn into the little wibbly wobs, like, sorry, everybody hates that part. I love it.
No,
I love it.
it's cute.
They remind me of the worms in The Little Mermaid when she sucks all of the, and they're on the wall like it's little jars. I wanted to know what the entity like looked like, but that's the point. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to know because it's what you think, it's what you envision it to look like. And that's one thing that I did like, if we're
Mhm.
talking about God, capital God, that the face of God looks like whoever you believe the face of God to look. So them cycling through
Right.
those
Which is why we
faces.
got this like traditional Western,
Right.
view of God in
Ugh.
white robe. Yeah,
Ugh.
a
The
white
same
man with a
theme.
white beard.
I did throw up in my
Did
mouth
I-
just a little.
Oh yeah.
Do y'all remember that? Did y'all ever watch the animated show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Do y'all remember the episode with the devil?
Yes. The
Because
Magics of Magus 2.
Right. Okay. So for some reason, I thought that that was the planet in the middle of everything.
It's a very similar plot. Yeah, they go to this
Right.
planet and
Okay, but it's just some random. It's not at the center of the universe or
I don't think
galaxy or whatever
so.
the hell they want it to be.
I think maybe they fly through an energy field or something to get to it.
Classic. Okay, so they fly
Yeah.
through the energy field. They show up, and it's Satan, but Satan's chill.
Yeah, right. It's a planet of aliens who were on Earth during the Salem witch trials and were tried as witches, but they were just friendly aliens that were mistreated
Right.
by humans. And
Mhm. They could do
and
magic with their thoughts. They could
Right.
think things.
right.
And I'm like, bitch, I can think things too. I just don't. But like, okay, so it felt like this was like the same. It was like, oh, okay, so this is basically the story that they wanted to make whenever they had the money to not do it in 2D.
It is, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Well, right,
absolutely.
because Roddenberry's one of his original motion picture idea was the God thing, right? That was
Right.
They're obsessed.
this has been kicking around for so much, had been kicking
Right.
around so much longer than just before this.
And it reminds me of, I mean, this predates it, but the TNG episode "The Devil's Due," where they
Yeah.
go to the planet that
With
is
Ardra.
with Ardra, and she also like cycles through like looking like the human devil, the Klingon devil, the like whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a trope that we come back to over and over. Let's talk about.
Oh, I do
I mean,
remember that episode. Okay, sorry. No, I just went up to look up the Devil's Due. I was like, when you said cycle through, I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, I liked her. She was fun.
She's pretty.
Let's talk about the Spock family tree for a moment.
Yo.
So I had
Sarek
actually
laying it down.
Right. And good for him.
Papa was a rolling stone.
Right. And why not?
And why not?
Because weren't they married?
Isn't it logical? Hey, you don't know. Vulcan marriage might not be monogamous. I don't know.
No, their marriages are weird because the way Spock
don't
and
yuck
that
their
lady don't give a shit about each other. Like, because Spock is breaking his vows basically every night that he sees Captain. So let's just
Right. Yeah.
So-
Port Pring.
right. But to be honest, I had in my Trek journey, this is gonna be insane. I had met Michael Burnham before I met Cybok. So the idea that there was another sibling that I had not heard about in the original series was like, yeah, sure. Like I was primed and ready. You could tell me there was 14 other little, Spock siblings. Sure. I believe you.
Well,
why not?
And there's all this outrage that somehow that Spock could have a sister that we didn't know about.
Right.
Right.
Because he loves to talk about stuff. Like he loves to talk about his personal life.
Right. Like
right.
Like somehow like that story wouldn't like
I'm sorry.
It couldn't exist without us knowing it, and it's the same with Cybok,
It's the same, right? Really, the Spock has been set up this way from the first season when we meet his parents, because the Klingon ambassador comes on board with his wife, and Kirk's like, "Hey, are you going to go down to the planet and see your parents? And he's like, these are my parents. Like what?
Yeah.
Why
What?
didn't you tell us that? Like,
No,
Yeah.
Spock
the dad
is
is
weirdly secretive about his family.
He's not secretive. He just doesn't volunteer information. Like he asked
Kind of
the
like someone
question.
else I know.
Who you need to ask questions and then you'll get answers. Not everybody's just going to share everything that's going on.
we're not supposed to do that.
No, Austin, we're not.
No, the moment something enters my brain, it's already, kind of
Exiting your
out
mouth?
there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The only reason
Good to
y'all haven't
know.
heard more is because I keep going on mute. Oh
Don't
my
mute.
God. Look, Damien's already sick of me.
Already.
No,
I
cough-tastic
muted
over
myself to
there.
cough.
Exactly. It's oh God, it's so crazy. I can't. I actually I think it's interesting that he would have additional siblings and that they would be all like the fact that Sarek doesn't really have a preference of partner.
Mm,
He's like, oh, human,
sure.
sure.
It's logical.
Vulcan, great.
A Vulcan
Romulan,
princess? Okay.
maybe. Like you never really know, and I'm okay with if there are a few more.
Well,
Yeah,
also, like,
yeah,
maybe
yeah, but
Cybok is from, like, a previous marriage. Like, we literally don't. There's all sorts of reasons that people have half siblings that are not cheating.
Right.
Yes.
Spock explains it in a couple sentences, but yeah, it's like they don't have the same mother, obviously. That he's from a previous arrangement, marriage. I don't know.
And we don't know how. And number one, we never know how old Cybok is to Spock.
Right. Yeah, because Vulcans live for a long, long time. So yeah, they
Are
might.
they not invincible, indispensable? Nope.
No, they just live hundreds of
Immortal.
years.
Thank
They
you.
have a long lifespan, yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah, yeah.
here's the time. Get your drinks ready, y'all. So it's like in Grey's Anatomy, where Meredith didn't know that she had other siblings until hers showed up who was pregnant, and she learned that she had 3 other half siblings because
Oh,
her father divorced her mother, and she then found out about those 3 siblings, and then didn't find out about another half sibling who her mother had when she was having an affair with Richard Webber that got given away for adoption in Boston. Continue.
for more,
Listen,
tune
I
in
know stories
to
like people. I grew up
In
around a
real
lot
life.
of Catholics. There's some teenage
Right.
pregnancies where they kind of disappear and
Yeah,
then come
every
Or they
back and
become
sperm is
nothing's
or they
sacred.
become a new
happened, and then years
or they
later
become a new
someone's looking
sibling.
someone up.
Speaking of siblings, there's this moment at the end of the movie where
Mm-hmm.
where McCoy says, "Didn't you say that men like us don't have
Have
families?"
family. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's fascinating. And Kirk says, I lost a brother
That's what gay
once.
men say to each other in the
I was
70s.
about to say, I
Yeah,
was like,
exactly.
that is such a gay thing to say.
That is such a
Gay
good thing to
boy,
say.
gay boy. Oh, sorry. I don't know where that came from.
Men like us don't
Right.
have families.
Right. As gay men, we get to choose our family. But
Camera again.
camera off again.
Austin has disappeared. The screen is gone blank, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like you will not
Oh
quote
my-
RuPaul in my presence.
What on earth?
But like, so he says, I lost a brother once, and
Yep.
I wanted them to be like, oh no, he says, luckily I got him back,
Yeah.
and I wanted them to say, Sam's alive.
Right, because we saw the episode where
His brother dies in an original series episode.
so unceremonious
Like,
too.
so unceremonious.
Who's literally him with a mustache.
Yeah, literally. But that character comes back in Strange New Worlds. But like,
But
But
wait,
it's hotter than
it's
he
like
is.
they totally forgot that. No, he's like, no, not my
He has,
real
like, a
brother.
real
Fuck that
brother,
guy. Like,
help me because it's been a long time since I've watched those episodes.
those old scientists.
Yes. Did they grow up together in Iowa? Like brother?
Yes.
Okay.
It was
So
like
it's
his brother.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So they just rewrote that out they sort of forgot
Right.
that to make the point that you are my brothers, you
Right.
too. But I did think that was sweet. See, now knowing that, it makes it less sweet. Well, it kind of makes it kind of creepy.
It is
it
kind
makes
of a
it
fucked up
sweet.
thing to say if you have a dead
Yes.
brother.
It's a
is.
fucked up thing to say. If you
I
have
don't want to
to do it.
police the dead brother community. I don't want to tell them what to say, what not to say. but from an outsider's perspective, it's not
Like,
it's not
you should probably claim that brother too. But no,
yeah.
I wrote that down. I was like, I lost a brother once. I'm glad I've gotten him back. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's a sweet line written
it
by
is
someone who didn't watch the original series.
correct.
Yeah,
And also watched by someone who forgot that from the original series. So like,
right,
oh, that makes total sense.
right.
But I will say, since we're at the end, I like that we
Mhm,
end the
mhm.
way we began. I do.
Yes.
I love a callback. Like, as I've
Right.
said before, my favorite thing about the final episode of Next Gen is that we get them all around the
Yep.
table, the
Full
poker
circle.
table. It's
Mhm.
full circle, and I
So
really
good.
liked that. Finally he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna sing the song."
Right. We're back with row, row, row your boat.
Yeah, and he finally gets it. It's like learning. It's like did some who were we talking about? Like Spock is kind of like Data, but not really. But because he's sort
Mm.
of learning, like he does have human qualities because he was raised by his human mother, but he does have to learn more of the nuances of being human, and sort of
Yeah.
Mhm.
accepting it whilst he's with the people that he trusts, i.e.,
He's
Kirk and
like
McCoy.
the foil character that they have to add so that they get to say a bunch of like a bunch of stuff like philosophical stuff about humanity. They got to have
Right.
like the one non-human character who's there so they can be like, yeah, Spock, humans, we're gritty and we believe in hope or whatever the fuck they're gonna say.
Well,
Right. We
that's I
trust our
mean,
guts.
I mean, that's what Kirk says, like, I need my pain. My pain is what drives me. And that
Right.
was another
Like,
point where I
girl,
was
I don't
like,
know.
no, but if you see, okay, this is where my age comes in. Not that we need pain to
Mm.
move through the world, but I do think that there is something to be said for someone who experiences pain or heartache or tragedy and makes the choice, if they can, to use that to fuel them to make a different choice in their life. There are some people who unfortunately don't have the wherewithal to be able to pivot left, and they just follow down the same road that they're on. And so for me, Kirk saying the pain is what drives me, which moves, like, I need my pain, he is consciously making a choice not to follow down whatever tragedy or pain. It's like, I'm going to use that as fuel to make better choices, to be a better person, to be a better human. So, in all of the spirituality, wibbly wobbly of I really enjoyed that moment. I was like, yep, exactly. Like, I wish that no one had to go through pain. I wish that no one had to have tragedy. But if you do, you can find a way to talk to that lady on the couch or talk to your friend or whatever and just use it as fuel to make you a better human. I'm all for it. Seems very like rah rah sis boom ba, but you know what I mean.
No tragedy.
A tragedy. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
everybody has
shaped by
to.
our experiences.
Yeah, we're shaped by our experiences, good, bad, and different.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, and if you take it away, then you're just a dummy who forgot that fire is hot, so you stick your hand on a goddamn eye. Like,
Mm. Yeah.
you need to know, you need that to remind you of what not to do. I like the movie.
It.
It wasn't as good as
Good.
like, I will admit,
Mm-hmm.
Wales still better. I understand why after 4, 1, there was a hype to be like, ooh, 5, what's going to happen? It's called the final frontier, which doesn't really make sense because it didn't really, like, I would have thought that would have been the end. Like,
Right.
there
Sure.
wasn't enough gravitas, there wasn't enough fighting. I mean, not fighting, but there wasn't enough conflict for
Mm.
there to be a big finish. Like a,
Right,
I
because
don't
the
need a
conflict was
bow,
really
but
like the Klingons, because Sybok was a villain, but then he kind of wasn't, and then he kind of was
Right.
like, "You can have your ship back. We're here now. It's all good."
mm-hmm.
Right. Well, there's lots of other YouTube videos and things about this, but so I won't go into it too much. But there was this whole other thing written where after the entity turns on them, that like the
Mm-hmm.
rocks come alive and there are these like
Mm.
rock creatures attacking
Oh
Kirk,
yeah, they were
Like the
they
and
Gorn,
wanted gargoyles.
they
like the
wanted
Gorn episode.
gargoyles. Yeah, kind of like the
Oh,
Gorn
like,
episode. Yeah.
or
Um,
like Battles. Mm-mm. What's the one with Tim Robbins? Thank you.
It's okay. Wait, you've thrown me off. It's not Tim Robbins.
I mean, Tim.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Tim
Allen. Right. Galaxy Quest. That scene in Galaxy Quest, it was literally referencing what they wanted to do in this movie. And they didn't have the money for it. So all that was cut and they had to kind of rewrite because it just like they pared it down and pared it down. They made one rock suit. There's footage of it online. It looks stupid. And they cut it. So then it's just Kirk run. I mean, this entity, which for some reason is really good at shooting Kirk, is suddenly has terrible aim because Kirk's running from him and he's like keeps missing him with his zappy eyes.
He had to be standing still. He's not good at following the bouncing ball. You have to be.
He had just been hit by a photon torpedo. So
and Shatner was pretty open about the fact that he was really focused on having like a strong opening to the movie. And that by the time they got to the end, they had run out of budget to do all of the things that he wanted to do. So
it did feel a little bit like it could have been like an episode.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Sometimes the movies are like, that's a movie. That's a movie.
Right.
This one could have been. This was like they went to a planet, they found a weird alien.
Yeah.
Right. It was embellished with other stuff like the shore leave and the Enterprise being broken and the Klingons there for no reason. But
which could still have been an episode.
Yeah, it all could have just been.
We've had episodes where the ship is broken and we spend time fixing it and then maybe something happens, okay.
Now the whales.
The whales.
That was a goddamn movie.
So at the end of this, a proper movie. Okay, Mike Jones. Anything else? I feel like grading.
No, go.
Grading needs to happen. So I gave the whales an A- because I don't remember my reasoning, but there was something. Oh, I wanted more from Uhura. I felt like she didn't get enough.
Fan dance.
Yeah.
Can we just at least?
Oh my God, we skipped the fan dance.
What the hell was that?
I did.
She sang live and they dubbed over it. And she was
pissed.
I'm pissed now.
Okay, so in my notes,
she had a beautiful voice.
Yes, sexy Uhura, smart plan. Verbatim, what I wrote. I was like, I mean, really, this is what really.
Sue me for wanting to have some fun. Oh my God.
Listen.
Well, it's like the shuttlecraft goes down too far away from the city just so that they can get the horses because Shatner loves horses. And then the way they distract the horse people, it was like one thing after another. It's like, again, it's just filler. It's a lot of filler.
Oh, there's a woman. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no women on this planet. That's
that woman.
But there's a 3-titty cat.
Right. There's a cat with 3 titties right over there.
Like, Austin, you can't sell this to me. I'm telling you.
And that is totally fair.
Okay, go ahead though.
Because but I kind of get it, and like it's a little bit like almost it's uncomfortable and it's like childish a little bit, but at the same time, I think what I like about it is that at that point, they make her up to like look a little bit older. She is a little bit older, and she still gets to have this. I don't think that she's actually like. You know what I mean? Like this
it's like I'm still because here's the thing.
Yes,
Michelle Nichols is stunning. Like her face card, it does not decline. Like she is a beautiful woman.
And I like that she got to do all like
she got to be a little sexy,
and like we all know she was the whole time, but it was really cool that I don't know that was.
Oh, it's okay. I get you. I'll give you that. Like, yes,
but it is
it's
kind
interesting.
Of like cartoonish. Awooga, like you know what I mean? Like
yes,
the eyes popping out. But if anybody can pull it off, I will say it was her. If I don't even like women like that. But if she was up there with the
in a sexual manner, everyone, he's not saying that he hates women. He's not an incel.
Right.
He's just
That's
a gay.
Next episode. Yeah. I mean, love women. But yeah, I was just like, I would give up whatever evil scheme I was doing so that I could Google and Google.
They were just tending their horses. They weren't. But this is the
Oh, I thought they
closest we
were.
get to burlesque in Star
Yeah.
Trek. I mean, this is
Mhm.
it. I mean, yeah, I would have been there with $1, like like.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing. Did
I've
they replicate those feathers? Like, where did it? These are always the questions
Did
I
they kill
have.
a bird?
Was there an ostrich somewhere that they ripped the wings off of?
Maybe they're Uhura's feathers. That maybe this is an act that she does. They're like, why don't
And
we
no one
get
has,
her to do
and
her
no one
act?
has ever, no one has ever let her do it in the talent show.
She's
They
like, "Why
always
did
need
you
her at
bring
the
these
cons.
feathers on the shuttlecraft?" And she's like, "Well, I need to practice whenever I have a chance."
You know, Godiva has a number that where she dresses up like from that particular scene.
Oh
I can
yeah,
send y'all a video. Yeah.
amazing.
Godiva Romance is one of the drag queens from To Proudly Go who often plays Ahura. I realize I need to give like context or whatever.
Context. Mm-hmm.
I need to see that video.
Yeah, it's
Um,
awesome.
I mean, I do like little young gay Mike Jones was like, yes, like loved the fan dance. But in
Oh,
hindsight,
same.
looking back on it, it's a weird moment.
Same. But also, at my first convention, which was somewhere time before this movie, Nichelle Nichols was the featured guest. And
Mm.
she said, well, I do something in the next movie where Gene Roddenberry called me and said, you're gonna have to lose a little weight for this.
Ah!
Shut up.
Huh? Which
Oh my
wasn't like a thing
god!
to her. She's like, so I'm
Right?
very excited about it.
He's like,
Well,
okay.
of course, of course.
Right. Because she
See,
comes from
microaggressions. That's
It's
the
a
pain
different
she's letting go.
it's a different time
Oh
Mhm.
my
for
God.
sure.
Yeah, it's okay. All right.
Well,
I'll
it's
give
not
it to
that different of a
it.
time. I
It
mean,
is not. No.
yeah,
No, it's
no.
no, it's not. I will say I did enjoy the movie. This one, ooh,
What was your letter grade on this?
Oh yeah.
no, I didn't give it yet because then we veered off.
Sorry.
If the whales is A minus, this is B or C plus. Ugh.
Generous.
It is, but okay. I give it a C plus. I was trying to be nice. It's
C
like C.
plus.
Yeah, it's like a if the grades, it's like a 77, 76.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, I would watch it again.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I,
Well,
I
none of them fail. I mean, I don't think there are any Fs out there, right?
no, I don't think you really could have. For me, I don't really think there could be an F
Yeah.
in Star Trek. I don't, but I do. I like the general idea of the movie. I just see more of the flaws in it than I do the good in it. The whales, there are fewer like minuscule flaws for me, from the storytelling to the shooting to the subject matter, start to finish. Like there was a strong through line. There weren't a lot of ancillary characters that didn't mean anything. Like it felt fully flushed out. This felt like many ideas thrown in a blender. How can we get it to stick? Scenes that were too long, that were unnecessarily long, scenes that were too short, that needed more exposition, people that didn't need to be in it. It just, it makes me sad because I don't like giving bad grades to Star Trek, but not my favorite.
It's you still gave it a passing grade.
It does pass because I didn't
Yeah.
turn it off.
Yeah.
But
I think
when's the
that's
next
fair.
one? I'm ready for 6.
Oh, I'm ready for 6 too. I can't wait. Okay. Yeah. So
Wait, sorry, you haven't seen 6 yet?
Austin, this is the whole point. I am a completionist. I watched original series, animated series, Next Gen, Voyager, Enterprise, Discovery,
Deep Space Nine.
passing Deep Space Nine, Strange New Worlds, all of the things. I watched the movies up until 3. And then I stopped. For some, I don't know why.
You stopped
now-
so that we could do this?
Yes,
So we
but
could
before
mine
that, I
it for your
stopped.
fresh perspective on the pod.
Correct. So I've now only seen the first 5 movies
and Generations.
in general, and
Is that not 6?
It's 7. 6 is the undiscovered country.
which I've not seen. No, I don't talk. You figure it out for yourself. We don't talk about it on the pod.
No worries.
And
but-
I've only seen
I
one other
couldn't
Star
tell you
Trek
anything about
movie.
it.
Good. Is the Kelvin one, the newer one with
Yeah.
Chris
Doesn't count.
Pine. and Quentin, somebody who was
That
in
one helped me
Heroes.
find out I was
Zachary
gay.
Quinto. Oh,
I mean,
with that movie?
Yeah, I was like, wow, those uniforms are tight. I should look up pictures. I should look up pictures when I get home. I want to look up. I
That's
don't know why.
amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Oh,
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah,
that is
so
awesome.
we're going through all of them because I have not. Oh, I did see Generations because then y'all made me watch that. We're not going to go there. Okay,
Yeah,
go
we
ahead.
watched Generations to talk about on the pod, which was kind of out of. It was because it was its anniversary. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's
No,
fine.
so I thought Generations was number 6, which is why I was making all these faces, but you've already seen Generations.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even know what Undiscovered Country is about. So that's well, I
bet you've seen it. I don't know, maybe
I
not.
have. I've seen all of it. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
Remember
it would
we've
come
talked
back to you.
I don't know what my friends teach. I can't.
Right.
That's what we
You've met Lanita 4 times.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
It's because I keep changing my hair. That's all. Go ahead, Mike Jones.
Let's see if you can answer some questions.
Time
Austin.
for the rapid fire.
Oh, this is where we turn our circular firing squad on our guests.
We do. But here's the thing. Damazon and Mike Jones, if you gave it a grade, what would you give it?
B plus.
B plus.
Ooh.
D.
C.
D.
D plus.
Oh, Dick plus. Okay. For all of you who are not watching this on the YouTube, there was a gesture which made me say penis. Mike Jones?
Yeah, I would probably I would say D plus. D or D plus.
Okay.
D plus.
Austin, would you like to give it a grade?
I've been grading all day.
Then no for you. Is it a pass or a fail?
You know what? It receives credit. Might have to go to summer school.
Okay.
Nice.
Fair enough. Okay, Breakfast Club action.
Okay.
And now here's our fun segment where we're going to ask you rapid fire questions. And
some of them are.
And some of them have right answers, and we will let you know if you've selected them.
We don't all agree on what the right.
All my answers are right, so I'm not worried.
Obviously. Okay. What's your favorite series?
I didn't think they'd be so hard so quick. No.
Thanks, I got a lot of that.
Voyager. It's like the high highs and low lows. There are some really terrible Voyager episodes, but I'm always gonna have a good time.
Yeah. I love Voyager. Good. If you could have dinner with 3 characters, not the actors, the characters, who would they be and why?
You know what? Let's sit them down. We're gonna have Michael Burnham, Spock, and Cybok. We're gonna work all that shit out.
Good call.
Family reunion.
Therapy.
That's good.
Like they've been through it, and many of them have difficulty with their emotions. So like we're gonna work through that shit. And it's not a dinner for me; it's a dinner for them. In that way, I'm a very giving person like that.
It's like an intervention.
Yeah.
With some plomeek soup and emotions.
Sure.
If you lived in the 24th century, or 23rd, what would your life be like? Would you be in Starfleet? Would you be on Earth?
I don't know that I'd be in Starfleet because like the amount of times that they have to go and like shoot people, I'm like, I don't want you to tell me to go and shoot somebody because then I'm just gonna be mad about it. But like I'd want to be in space if I could be in space. Maybe I could do like a travel vlog, you know?
You'd be an influencer.
I could be an influencer.
An influencer.
I could be like, oh my God, this place looks a little sketchy, but you know, I'm like on Orion or something, like having a great time.
Oh God.
I'm finding all the best gay bars and other planets.
It's like Austin's Rise subspace transmission got so many views.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, what is your go-to holodeck program?
That's private. No, I'm kidding.
Let's be honest.
Just a little joke. Just a little joke. You can do anything on there. That's the thing. Yeah. They had the episode where that one guy whose name I don't care to remember at the moment. He was so obsessed with the holodeck, right? And it's like I get
Barkley.
Yes.
Broccoli.
Right. Now imagine if that technology was real and you think I'm doing anything else.
Oh, no. A hollow
yeah.
addiction would be such a problem. No one
Yeah.
would want to leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't barely get off my phone and it's not even fun.
Listen, it's a Black Mirror episode.
Right.
People.
Absolutely.
Let's
Um,
see. I feel like what? That's a skydiving would be a lot of fun
Mm.
because
Can do
there's like
that.
no
Mhm.
fear. You're just kind of
Mm.
yeah. I don't. The science never fully made sense to me because I guess if it made sense, it exists. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Okay. Crusher or Pulaski?
Crusher, but I have a lot of love for Pulaski.
So do
It's
I.
no shade against her. I really love how she came in with a very skeptical heart when it came
Mhm.
to data. I was like, you know what? She's asking the right question.
Oh,
She's asking the questions that nobody else is brave enough to fucking ask.
it's true. It's
And then
true.
she grows, and that's
She
beautiful.
grows. That's what
And
I'm
that's
saying.
beautiful. I liked her. I don't know what people were on, but they did not like her.
Mm-mm.
Couldn't be
Are
me.
you doing Klingon Tai Chi with Worf or leotard yoga with Beverly and Deanna?
It's almost rude that you would ask.
He's getting a
Yeah,
leotard.
I
He is
have the
stretching it
leotard.
out.
Yeah, let me go get it on. Like, I'm ready. Are you kidding? We're not gonna do. There will be no physical exertion, but we're gonna talk about Grandma's sexy diary. Like, don't worry about it.
Yes.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're gonna gossip about that. Will they? Won't they? I'm gonna have to hear Diana fucking Troy talk about this same fucking man for another 10 years, and it's like, just do it or don't.
Right.
Like, I can't do it, but I will.
Masadi.
I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna listen anyway because I'm a good friend.
Are you drinking tea, Earl Grey, hot, or coffee, black?
Coffee. Yeah,
Excellent. If you had a replicator sitting next to you right now, what would you order or replicate?
I think it's just a lot of ice cream.
Mm.
And it would always be like the perfect temperature. You don't have to wait for it to thaw a little bit for it to be like. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's what inquisitive minds don't want you to know. They don't want you to think about these things. But I'm here to help you. Yeah, it would be the exact right temperature, whatever flip. I might have to make some plans after this call.
Now I want ice cream. Who's your Star Trek bartender, Guinan or Quark?
You didn't have to finish the question. It's Guinan.
Guinan, all the
None
way.
was already happening. Who is your
Right.
favorite bartender?
It's
Guinan
Guinan.
who was coming out.
Now, young Guinan or
Mm.
TNG Guinan?
Oh,
Whoopi or I
love
don't
the
know the
all.
other actress's name.
I love them both. I feel like Whoopi has a lot more patience, which I think, as many people may come to realize while listening to this episode, that is one of the requirements for kind of interacting with me for a long period of time. You do have to have some patience, but I think they both. I think I'd have a fun time no matter what.
I love it.
Yeah, I love to believe that she would like me and care about me, but she's a fictional character, so I have to sort of
Yeah.
I have to just imagine.
She's a good listener.
Yeah, I'm a good talker.
Are you Okay, here's the big one. Are you team Tasha or team Armis?
Well, only one of them didn't annoy me, so I'm Team Armis.
Oh,
And that is the correct answer.
Yes, because look, I get that what Tasha could have been this, Tasha could have. She wasn't.
she wasn't. Oh.
She was what she was,
Mm-hmm.
And
now she isn't anymore.
Wow. Okay. Favorite alien species?
There was the weird ones.
Describe them.
That narrows it down.
Exactly. No, it was the ones. I don't know if they were. See, people are gonna be like, oh, he doesn't know anything about.
Don't worry, they say that about me every week. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no,
I'll join you for that.
We're anti-gatekeeping podcast.
Yeah, no.
Those people don't listen to us. We alienated them.
Exactly.
So I remember this species best from the why can't I think of the name of the animated show? The
Lower
Lower
Decks.
decks? Uh-huh. Mhm.
Yeah, you can edit out the part maybe where no. So the character from Lower Decks, a series which the name of which I know. It's got like the three different parts that all fly around separately, like the torso and the
Oh,
body,
Bam.
and the
Yes.
yeah. And I assume that that's new for just for the animated series because
Yeah.
how would they do that practically? It seems,
Wow.
you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm
This
talking about?
one is impressed that you chose that.
Yeah, and like that one in
Absolutely.
particular was annoying as fuck, but like the concept of it is really fun.
Right. The colony species. It's like
Yeah,
a,
it's just
yeah,
cute. It's like
that's
sometimes
great.
that's how I feel.
I was thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's an
final
original
captain.
answer.
And don't
Final
let real life
question.
color this. Who's your captain?
I think because I have an overwhelming desire to survive, Janeway.
I said don't let real life color this.
I'm not well, I didn't even mean that. Because yeah, I'm afraid of a certain somebody too, but I mean like Miss Girl went toe to toe with the Borg.
True.
Okay.
Like you see how many people she got so many of them home.
It's true.
You turn on a random episode of TNG and Picard is saying farewell to somebody, right? Like they go down to a planet where everybody's jogging around and having a nice time, and all of a sudden they're in some fucking trouble. They
Well,
go
because
down and
Wesley's a dumbass. That's
right.
why.
Actually, I guess
Right.
nobody even dies in that one. I don't know why I picked that one.
Because he was
Kirk,
about to.
yeah, for the love of God, Kirk actually kind of wants his people to die, I think.
A lot of
Like,
people died.
yeah, he. So I don't know. Cisco seems trustworthy. He doesn't have a whole lot of casualties. But yeah, it's a numbers game
Mm,
for me.
But his
I love it.
Perfect sense.
Yes, I'm down. Okay.
I do feel like
I
Janeway,
love
like
it.
she could hate me, but she would fully circle back. She would add another year to the trip. She
Yeah.
is like she has her like her values, and she isn't gonna let shit get in the way of that. And so if I'm on her
Yeah.
crew, I am fucking protected,
Right. Right.
right? Like
You
she will,
know,
yeah,
if you were in a transporter accident and accidentally merged with someone else,
yeah.
she's going to save you.
She's gonna get
She's
me
going to
back,
get you back.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because and you know what? I celebrate
Thank you.
that.
Yeah.
I celebrate that. It was the right choice. Sorry, we don't want to
Oh,
start. That's
that's
a
a
different.
whole controversy. Um, oh my gosh. We have been doing this for way too long. So we need to wrap up.
For just enough time, we want
Just
to
enough
thank our
time.
guest, me, and off.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna thank
Thank,
herself.
She's thanking herself, everybody. Um,
well, thank
yes,
y'all. This was so much fun.
Thank you, Austin.
it was
Thank
so
you.
great. Yes. And where can people find you if you want to be found?
Oh, I'm gonna seed. I'm gonna just say that you can find me at wherever to proudly go ends up next.
Oh,
So,
hallelujah.
can I actually? I know that you just said you were just talking about time, but I wanted to ask a quick
Yeah,
question.
Mhm.
please.
If
This
y'all
is the
were in a
fun
Star
part.
Trek drag show,
Mm.
Mhm.
what character would you play?
I'd find out how to be an Andorian because I
Yeah,
love them, and I love the fact that their little antennae move.
I love
Mm.
that. Okay,
I mean, my answer is obvious. I think Lanita's gonna answer it for me.
No, I'm not going to answer it for you. I'm going to let you go.
Tasha Yar.
Oh, Toshi. I thought you were going to say 7 of 9.
Well, I actually have done that. I went at 7 of 9
Right.
to convention. I for sure did.
But now the hair's cut. Now he looks like
Yeah, no, I
standard
had hair that
issue,
was like down to here,
a
and
standard issue lesbian.
yeah,
we can
no,
just throw a blanket. No, wait, she actually gets zapped, doesn't she?
she does
Mm-hmm.
not get swallowed by goo, as Lanita keeps
Shoulda.
saying.
Yeah, she doesn't.
That is
That
my
was
fantasy.
Riker.
Yeah.
That's your fantasy.
Right.
Yeah, I invert them
Um,
too, so she can drown in the goo. Come on, Mike Jones, where you going?
See, that's hard. I want to say Uhura because I love her, but is that inappropriate? I
It's
would
not
be
as long as
Can
you
I
don't
say
do
fandom
Mike's?
Uhura.
blackface.
Can I say Mike's? Because
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
one for you that I have been dreaming of.
Ooh.
Counselor Troy season 1 with the bun.
The bun.
You can have a lot of feelings. Oh my God.
You have a lot of feelings.
I thought you were going to say that piano player with the 4 arms in Gambit who sings the Klingon opera. That's what I thought you were going to go for.
That's hilarious.
Because I could do that.
Listen, you could be a horror. You just can't do any self-tanner. It has to be all in the hair and the costume. And then you're fine.
Right. Like the beehive.
Correct.
The red.
Earpiece.
Right.
Good to go.
Things come off, fans come out.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. And then my second choice. See, I because I was like, oh, I'd have to be a drag king, so that's why I do an Andorian.
No, you be whoever you want.
I know, but I flipped to drag king because that's the last show I saw, which was really good. If I was gonna do lady drag and AFAB drag, I would definitely be an Orion. And I would be a comfort woman, and I would do. You would get a shimmy, shimmy, shim.
The dance.
Are you the cartoon avatar from our Orion episode art that we made, that Mike made?
Yes, correct. That is correct.
That's who you would be.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Those are wonderful answers. That's really exciting.
And if you want to join our Patreon, you can see that at. I'm just kidding.
Right. No, that's the $1,000 tier.
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The private cameo from Orion Lanita. Oh my gosh, this has been a ton.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
No, I love it. This has been so much fun. And thank you all for listening. And thank you, Damien, for being my co-host, Lanita for being our guest today. As we continue our journey through Star Trek's cinematic history. Tune back in to hear us talk about Star Trek VI, which I will give you a hint that for a long time it was my favorite Star Trek film. So there you go. It might not be anymore. Who knows? But if you have enjoyed listening to us ramble on, please give us a 5-star review where you get your podcast. You can find us on YouTube or on the socials at Hailing Freak Open. That's FREQ. Or at hailingfrequenciesopen.com. And with that, I will say thank you. Hailing Frequencies closed.
No goodbyes. Just good memories. Hailing Frequencies closed, sir.